Arata stretches his hand to hold his favorite cousin's hand as they keep falling into what looks like an endless pit. Her name is Hijiri. Actually, is Arata's dream. When he wakes up, he finds himself groping his irritated cousin's balloon. Hajiri, despite his best efforts to appease the situation, she chooses to punish him. After this incident, he gets breakfast with his cousin Hijiri and heads out to school. On their way to school, Arata notices a change in the color of the sun from red to black. Right after, he sees an invisible person walking by them on their way, telling him to wake up where she will end his life. At school, Arata still thinks about the sun and asks Hijiri about it. She says the sun has always been black, but he remembers the sun being red from a drawing she made when they were younger. He then figures that Hijiri is not his cousin, but someone else posing to be her. Their discussion was cut short by Isami Lilith, a mage who tells Arata about an event that happened 3 days earlier and swallowed up his world. Arata remembers when the black sun occurred and people were consumed, but he was saved by Hijiri, who gave him a necklace that saved him. That necklace is a grimoire that grants his wishes to return the world to what it was. Unfortunately, he also learns that the fake Hijiri is a mage, and all he has is an illusion of the wish he has made. Lilith gives Arata 2 options: to give his grimoire and forget everything, even about Hijiri, or she will take it by force and kill him. But Arata picks the third option, to become a mage and save Hijiri, who's in another world. Lilith takes Arata to her school full of mages and introduces him to the headmaster. The headmaster tells him the school is to help investigate the mysteries and oddities of magic. He asks the headmaster if he would be able to get his cousin back through magic, and the headmaster tells him it is possible. The headmaster tells him about the school's boss characters, the Trinity 7, a group composed of 7 mages who have respective fields they excel. He is told that Lilith is one of them, and he should get to meet the others to understand all about mages. Later that day, Arata meets Kazama Levi, who is a ninja, and Erin, who looks like Hijiri. Both of them are part of the Trinity 7. At school, Erin follows Arata around, and when he confronts her on why she does, she claims she is the chosen bride of the Demon Lord. Afterward, he meets Levi, Lilith, and Selena in his room. They tell him they are there to interview him, but instead Arata tells them to teach him magic. He learns that his grimoire is called a Still Codex, and that it has the knowledge of another world. While in the room, they get trapped in a barrier, unable to find a way out. Arata's grimoire tells him to think of it as a game, testing ability and looking for a way out. The girls in the room became uneasy with an urgent need to use the bathroom. Arata decides to play a trick on the grimoire by telling him where the clue to breaking the barrier is, which works. Arata grimoire asks him which theme he would pick. He says he doesn't know. Erin walks in on him and tells him the FEMA is a subject of research. A mage devotes their life to learning, and while they execute what they learn, they use their magic as spells. He asks her if she was the one that put a barrier in his room. She says yes. She did it because he is the Demon Lord candidate, the boss of the bad guys, and because the headmaster asks her to do it to see if he would have a meltdown, which will cause another phenomenon. Erin puts her palm against Arata and enters Mage mode. This immediately breaks the phenomenon, and the magic in Arata begins to consume him. Erin tells him she wants to see what lies beyond their reality. 2 other Trinity, Mira and Akio, disrupt the moment. Mary uses her magic and Fema Superbia to neutralize the spell cast by Erin. Mira instructs Akio to destroy Arata since he's the source of the breakdown, so that they can make everything go back to normal. Akio kicks Arata to vanquish the evil in him, and he finds himself being pulled into another world by Yua, a particular type of mage who is a part of the Trinity 7 but rarely comes to school and can only be spoken to in dreams. Dewey shows him the destruction happening in the school and tells him he would need to pick his FEMA from one of the 7 deadly sins to be able to control this power. But he says since Mary used FEMA Justivia against him, he would prefer to go in the opposite direction. He returns to the school and chooses FEMA Rule. He connects to the Superb Archive and uses his FEMA to compel the breakdown to dissolve and dispel the magic discharged by Mira. After the breakdown, the headmaster sends all the students to the southern part of the country to enjoy themselves. At the same time, he uses his powers to repair the school. Arata shows his Magus mode to Selena, including the part that strips people naked after dispelling magic. Levi and Selena listened in on Lilith and Arata and were shocked to see they only discussed what he needed to do to get his cousin back. Arata gets in a mixed bath with the girls. Selena encourages him to know how to target his magic directly at one person instead of stripping everyone around him naked. Arata begs Lilith to show him her FEMA. Maybe you will be able to know how to understand his magic better, since he developed his FEMA by looking at that of Mira and going in the opposite direction. Lilith shows her magic to Arata, and the girls discover that he can use the magic of all mages. All he needs is to see it. His grimoire will copy and rewrite it to suit him. Lilith tells Arata not to steal anyone's magic, but instead take his time to learn and understand the magic process. On returning from their bath, they discover all the students with medium-level magic asleep. They find out this is caused by a breakdown of Yu's power running wildly from beneath the school where she resides. Arata asks about the labyrinth, where Yu lives, and learns that she's the strongest mage in the school after the headmaster. However, he understands that her power is dangerous and can make the world slumber, which is why she lives in a dream world. Mira and Akio search for the breakdown, and the others go ahead to look for Yu before Mira gets to her and kills her. On getting inside the dungeon, Mira and Akio meet the rest of the guys. Livy and Akio fight while Lilith, Arata, and Erin run off to Yu's room, where they meet a dragon that materializes beneath her. Arata's magic resonates with the dragon, and he begins to take the form of a dragon. Erin tries to shield him from the dragon's fire but gets knocked out. The rest of the team joins them, and they all make a truce until they fight the dragon off. Levi helps Arata control his powers while the others engage in the fight. Akio is kicking the dragon, Lilith is shooting her gun, and Harem using her spells, all while Levi encourages Arata to fight and get stronger to find Hijiri. Levi engages the dragon while Lilith teaches him some magic lessons, while also explaining that if he loses control of his magic, he may turn into something worse than a dragon, all because he is a Demon Lord candidate. Levi injects her magic into his finger, and he summons a gun to destroy the dragon with a single shot and save Yui. Later, someone breaks into the school, and Mira tells Lilith she feels the energy to be the same as it was in the library. Levi tells her the story of the library, two twins reading in the library, and the library's glass comes crashing down around them like rain. The elder sister disappeared after the incident, which happened 6 months before Arata joined the school. At the library, Arata sees Selena in a corner and approaches her. They are all thrown into an eternal library, where they meet Lysa's sister, the twin who disappeared from school, and the 7th Trinity they have been looking for. They discover that Lysa has turned into a bad mage and can steal power from other mages. She steals Selena's power and makes herself a Demon Lord candidate. Lysa tells them that it has always been her wish to be a Demon Lord, and that was why she joined the Grimoire's security, so she could run research on everybody. She tries to convince Arata to join her to become an evil lord so that he can quickly get Hijiri back. She moves closer to Arata and kisses him to steal his powers, which depletes his magic. Then she uses the magic of stripping people naked on the girls. But Levi and Mira deflect it, and Levi faces her while Mira tries to analyze her new strength. After Mira analyzes Lisa's magic, she attacks her with the Fema from the inside of the archive. But it does not work on her. Levi uses her ninja strength to attack Liza and cuts down her wings. Mira mocks her for not understanding the power she carries and compares her to a level 3 mage who knows nothing. Liza runs away when she understands she must research her new powers to face the group and take everybody's powers. After she leaves, the balance is restored and they are back in the original library. Mira tells the group that she fears what might happen when Liz returns after mastering her power, and she feels they have to make Arata stronger before the next attack. Mira asks Akio to fight Arata, so they can understand how magic works and for him to control and learn how to copy people's magic following the required processes. Akio tells him that if he does not use his magic to strengthen his body, he will not be able to beat Liz. Liz returns to the school with shadows that consume the students' magic. She tries to analyze the headmaster and wonders how she can steal his magic for herself. Lisa's new strength enables her to see the headmaster's grimoire, which is Solomon's Gate, which can only be seen with people with extraordinary powers. Lisa slaps the headmaster away after he falls to her seduction, and she heads toward the other girls. There, her sister Selena proposes for her to change her evil ways if Arata can defeat her. Arata continues his practice with Akio, and the grimoire releases its human form, the Still Codex. The grimoire is called Sora. She shows him how he can use and conceal other people's magic in the grimoire. Karata and Sora go to meet Liz, and he takes his powers back from her when he summons a dragon that bites Liz's arm. But Lisa's magic returns to normal when he gets distracted from talking to the others. Arata charges toward Liz, but his speed is unable to match hers. Liz realizes that touching Arata does not affect him. Hence, she changes into Magus mode and the Lost Technica archives and enters a new world to control time. Knowing fully well that all Liz wants is to acquire power, Arata puts Akio's mantra on his tongue for when Liz wants to kiss him again. This mantra weakens her and makes them defeat her. After winning, Arata convinces her to abandon her evil ways and go back with them, because everybody wants her back, but she says the type of magic she did has her stuck in the world alone. He also learns that it is the same type of magic his cousin Hijiri did to save him. Liz gets stuck in her world alone, but Mira asks Selena to teach Arata how to master the Logos art, so they can get Liz back from her trapped world. Arata begins to study all there is to know about magic, but Lilith starts to worry that he's putting too much effort into learning so many things simultaneously, and if it is not correctly controlled, can turn into a monster. The headmaster summons Lilith, Mira, Akio, and Arata into his office. He tells them he wants to send them to the Royal Liber Magic Academy to inspect what happened to the recently destroyed school. He promotes Arata into the inspection division and tells them to tell him all he needs to know before the inspection. Arata learns of all the Trinity Seven's archives of their respective field of the seven sins. Lilith offers to be his tutor, and he realizes that her deadly sin is lust. But in reality, she believes that all things sexual should be done modestly. Mira and Akio tell Arata about the Great Magic Academy and tell him their work is to investigate the reason for the breakdown. The headmaster teleports them to a spot close to Liber Academy, but someone tries to interfere with the system. The break-in transmission brings them to an entire Liber Academy that is not destroyed. After the break-in transmission, Sora, Mira, and Arata are met by an Iliad fragment of Hijiri, who took care of Arata while Hijiri was gone. On entering the school, they discover that it is not in ruins, but someone has tricked them there and put a barrier spell around the school to ensure they cannot escape. Mira tries to use her powers and realizes that is also not possible. Arata and Mira hide in a classroom away from Shadows, who absorb powers while Sora faces them. Sora finds Ilia responsible for the barrier, and she traps Sora in a cube. Mira and Arata climb to the roof of the building to look for the core of the barrier so that they can destroy it and set themselves free. At the top, they see Sora in a box sealed away. Mira and Arata get surrounded by Shadows, but Arata negotiates with Ilia to leave Mira alone and have him. She agrees, but while Arata leaves the spot to meet her, the Shadows crowd around Mira, and she tries to turn Sora into an energy sap. This makes Arata angry to the point where all his magic consumes him and he becomes the true Demon Lord, the Astral Trinity. After taking the form of the Demon Lord, Arata takes over Ilia's kingdom and breaks free Mira and Sora. Mira and Sora save him from his Demon Lord power by returning him to his true form with a slap. Arata tries to reason with Ilia to be friends with her, and everybody joins hands together to destroy the Black Sun created by the Astral Trinity. They find their way out of the barrier and back to the front of the school, where they meet Akio and Lilith. They both help them to a resting place where Mira tells them about Arata becoming the Demon Lord. She tells me that Ilia helped them break the barrier out, and she believes Hijiri is behind all the plotting. Hijiri visits Arata while he's resting and tells him that they are now enemies and she will need to kill him. Here, Lilith comes in and disrupts Hijiri's plans, but Hijiri is bent on killing Arata. She manifests into a Demon Lord candidate wearing 3 different armor. Hijiri blasts toward Arata and Lilith runs towards him. He screams and Eren comes in his defense, freezing time and space and holding a spear that can be used to neutralize Hijiri's magic. Akio and Mira join in to fight Hijiri, but she leaves them and goes to the school, which is left unprotected. The school is faced with danger when Hijiri's companion, Lu, attacks them. Levi meets Lu while Yu uses her magic to create a dream world to protect the students, so they are not affected by the attack. Levi attacks Lu, but finds it hard to keep up with her because she is as fast as lightning. Levi creates an illusion of using her last crest for Lu to see and runs away. Lu looks for Levi and begins to fight her. She crushes Levi to the point that Selena leaves the dream world to support her. Selena puts Lo in bind, but she breaks free from it and destroys Levi and Selena. After dealing with them, she wants to face the headmaster but is interrupted by Lise, who Selena connected her body with and brought back from her world. Lise and Selena bind Lu, but she manages to get free and attacks her, only to fall into a trap. Levi attacks her from behind and attacks Lo with several strikes. Lise and Levi ask Lu to leave them alone, but she is joined by Hijiri, who advises Lise to join them in their mission to destroy the world. Yu joins Lise and Levi, and Hijiri decides to destroy the 3 of them, but she's interrupted by Arata and the rest of the Trinity's 7 members. Lise thanks Hijiri for the warnings and tells her she would rather stay with her friends, the Trinity 7. And Arata tells her it's time for them to fight. Everyone taps into the FEMA to fight. The headmaster and master Libra watch as they engage each other, but the headmaster says he cannot join because he's a paladin, and his power can destroy the world. Yu and Akio join forces against Lu and take a little dominion over her. Levi and Leaves attack Hijiri together, but she creates a channel around herself that no one but Eren can penetrate. So they try to make an opening for Eren to launch an attack against her, but Hijiri was aware of what they are about to do, and shields herself against them, unknown to her that Levi has another plan to teleport and switch places with Eren, so she can attack from another direction. Eren attacks Hijiri and calls on Lilith and Arata to go next. Lilith and Arata join forces together and use her gun blast in his magic to blast away her powers. They were victorious over Hijiri and Lo, and she tells them how she was trying to prevent history from repeating itself. She didn't want to see Arata become the evil Trinity Lord who destroys the world. while controlling the Trinity's 7th. Arata tells her he will ensure he will control his own future and won't use the Trinity's 7 to destroy the world. Hijiri dies. Her spirit goes up, but is saved by Master Liber, who's the person plotting against Arata becoming the Demon Lord. As always, if you like what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.